Chillos, welcome back, people. It's the Critic Corp. I am Toke, and I'm here to give you guys that review today on the Exorcist Believer. It was fucking good, man. Like it, it almost, it was a like a nostalgic type of thing with the relation to the very first Exorcist with as far as the kids and how they presented them getting possessed and um, along with the CGI of how their face structures became demonic looking and you know with the little green spit coming out their mouths that they're puking up and shit. It so reminded me of the OG one, the classic, the 1973 one, along with the music that they had. The soundtrack, the like they had that in the background too. That shit was so dope. And then they had the mother from the first one, Chris McNeil in this boy. She wasn't in it for that long though. They had to hype it up with her, for her face in the trailer, showing her face in the trailer, but she was literally in it for maybe like not even 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes of the movie. She got pieced up real quick. That was a given though. I knew that was coming. I knew she wasn't about to be, she wasn't about to take over the movie from the leading star, which was Victor, the father of fucking Angela, which was one of the kids they got possessed. But yeah, man, this all started, they did like a little, backstory of Victor's wife, and this was like backstage back in Haiti, and a big earthquake happened. She died. Long story short, her death was a choice pretty much. It was either her or the baby that she was pregnant with, which was Angela, one of the kids that got possessed and whatnot. And he chose his wife initially, but given the circumstances that she was in, obviously the kid had to be the choice, which was kind of fucked for his situation, you know. Um, but yeah, they pretty much showed that little glimpse. Then they fast forward, to like them living in Georgia, some town in Georgia or whatever, and it's her first day of school, Angela's first day of school, high school and whatnot, and she her and her friend Catherine, which is the other little girl that gets possessed, go into the woods and decides to fucking talk with the undead, play with the undead, and that's when they fucked up. That's when they, you know, allowed the evil spirits right on in, and it was downfall from there. They ended up fucking going missing for like maybe what? It was almost a week. No, it was 3 days. It was 3 days. They went missing for 3 days. Ended up fucking getting found in this goddamn on this farm in this barn that like 30 miles away from where they were even at initially, and they had no clue what day it was, what time it was. They thought it was the same day. They were oblivious. They thought it was like they thought it was only a few hours since they've been out of their parents' presence and whatnot. And No, that wasn't the case. It's been like 3 days. And, they obviously showed signs of like maybe being drugged or raped or some type of shit, just taken advantage of, some teenagers getting taken advantage of. So the hospital did a whole bunch of checks and whatnot, and everything came up fine, besides their story that they just didn't, they were clueless about. They didn't really, next thing they were in the woods playing around, and next thing took off their shoes and started happy footing it for like 30 miles and ended up in this goddamn barn. But, yeah. Shortly after that, they fucking started acting a little bit out of the ordinary. And what I mean by the out of the ordinary, fucking, for starters, Angela, her first night back, she was, being weird while her dad was in the bathroom brushing her teeth. She kept coming in there and flickering the lights and asking him, did he say something, and all type of shit, just staring into her eyes, staring right into his soul, some weird shit. Then the next morning, she pissed the bed. He tried to get her in the shower and clean her up, all that shit, surprising her with breakfast. And as he runs her bath and whatnot and gets her in the bathroom, he goes to clear off her bed, and she fucking comes out and go crazy on him. She attached this nigga, she uses her mother's scarf, which was like a main key of the movie. Fucking ended up being the main key of the movie towards the end and in the beginning, because he took it from her that day that she was planning on going in the woods and conjuring up, talking to spirits. She was going to use the scarf to connect to her mother and shit like that. But, the dad took it from her once he peeped. It was the mom's. But, yeah. Fucking, so yeah, she wraps his head around and swings him fucking towards the end of her bed frame and knocked his head in. And, bro, when I say this man got a strong dome, he got a strong temple, bro. He was not even leaking or anything. And at the end, she fucking headbutted this man across the room. Still, no leakage, no bump, no nothing. Like, that's that. I don't know if that was that Hades strength. I don't even know. But she had that noggin, bro. She had a fucking dome, forehead out the world, and like, just straight up, like, bullheaded this man. But, yeah, so she attacks him, all that shit, good shit. Ends up in the, getting put into this goddamn, psych ward after the hospital realizes, this is beyond their help. Because she got a whole bunch of scratches on her body. She's fucking, talking in tongue. Just a whole bunch of crazy, weird shit. Like I said, it's out of the ordinary. And then you got Catherine over here going dumb in the church. Fucking yelling fucking just crazy shit, bro. The blood all over her dress and shit. She's about to get baptized, too. She's in the middle of it going on for a baptism. That shit had me fucking like, why would you take your kid to church after you just discovered her and whatnot? Like, why would you put her through that? Her parents, Catherine's parents, were selfish. They were selfish as fuckers. Like, they deserved it. They deserved to lose their child. Yeah, I ruined it. Catherine dies, Angela lives. Sorry. But, yeah, man. Fucking Victor seeks out help, from, Chris McNeil. Gets her ass back into the game, pretty much, and fucking, she gets murked off. Like I said, she was only in 15 minutes. Gets stabbed in both her eyes by Catherine. The nurse that was looking after Angela before the hospital, dismissed her to the psych ward, uh, was, I guess, her past, what she was supposed to be like. She was trying to turn her faith to her way into God and be a nun, and she ended up having a child and getting rid of it, and that wasn't, so nunly like, so she wasn't, she didn't make the cut pretty much, but she proceeded to try and get through to Victor's head that this is something way beyond some psychiatric help. They need a priest. They need the exorcism type of shit done. So, they went to go get a priest. Priest wasn't didn't get, acceptance from the church to go through with the exorcism. So he did all the best he could to, prep them and get them ready to deal with the evil spirit any way they could, because he couldn't. That was against his, he's forbidden. He's forbidden to do it unless he's allowed, by his former elder priest and shit like that. And so they started to begin the exorcism. They still not getting through to the children. Pretty much, long story short, the the priest ends up changing, is having a change of heart, come in, die, fucking instantly, trying to do a fucking prayer over their heads, and fucking they give the demon gives the parents ultimatum. One of them lives, one of them dies. Which one you gonna pick? And Stewart, old selfish ass, which is the father of Catherine, gonna yell, "I choose Catherine." Da da da. You fucked up, dumb nigga. With that part, I feel like he chose his wording wrong. If he would have said, "I choose you, Angela," Angela might have died and Catherine might have lived. But he fucked up. He just spoke out of fear and anxiousness and whatnot, and got his child killed. And Victor got through to his child by wrapping her mom's scarf around her neck, and pretty much, telling her like she can get through this. Like he needs her. He can't live without her. It won't be him and shit like that. And yeah, man, fucking Catherine gets snatched up by the demons and taken down to the pits of hell, and Angela surfaces back to her body, and story goes into a close, Fucking, we get to see Reagan. She makes an appearance at the end, visiting her mother at the hospital. Because I guess Reagan didn't want shit to do with, Chris McNeil, her mother, after she did all that. Because her mother was a famous actor and all this shit. Like, she was just well known, and she ended up making a book and started doing stories and interviews about, exorcism and all that type of shit. And her daughter pretty much, felt exploited, and like she was just being used for money, and you know, given that was her that went through that whole experience, how you just gonna put my info out there like that? That's how she felt about it. That's how Reagan felt. I feel like so. She got the fuck on from Reagan. I mean, Reagan got the fuck on from her mother for a minute, but go ain't do that for so long. That's your mother, man. She gave life to you. You gotta suck shit up and throw shit and throw shit behind you and make up before you lose the ones you love, type of deal. But yeah, man, this movie was pretty solid. I would give it a, I want to say, I'd give it a B minus. a low B minus, C plus, high C plus, because they didn't really show a lot. They gave us a brief, glimpse of the kids after they got possessed. They didn't really show a lot of craziness from them, besides for like one to maybe two scenes. But I wanted to see it shit step from step, them entering into that phase of just craziness, like for real, for real. I wanted that. I wanted to see that sinister shit. So that being said, uh, like I said, it was still a good movie, plot wise. Most definitely some moments I was jumping, uh, you know, but overall, yeah, like I said, bro, the way movies are these days is nothing original. So this was a connected to the this was a sequel connected to the first one. So given that, it's gonna get the hype and praise around it. But I just want something new. But I'm gonna stop talking about that. Leave some comments. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys thought about this movie. Um, Thanks for the fucking support. And like I always say, support the motherfucking corp. And I will leave it at that. Toodles.